Welcome back to Man Now Sports, man. We got breaking news, man. We all knew this was coming. I'll show you an excerpt from the New York Times or the New York Post article about Shannon Sharpe leaving Undisputed in FS1. They reached a buyout, and here's an excerpt from the article. Shannon Sharpe's partnership with Skip Bayless is coming to a conclusion soon. Sharpe and Fox Sports, the parent company of FS1, which airs Undisputed, have reached a buyout agreement, sources tell the Post. Sharpe's final show is expected to be after the 2023 NBA Finals conclude in June. Sharpe's popular Club Shay Shay podcast, which draws a big audience on social media and YouTube, will also be leaving Fox Sports, sources say. Right, so we all knew this was coming, right? We could see this whole show falling apart all year long. Right, this show been falling apart. You can see the microaggressions between Skip and Shannon. You can see they starting to get a little bit louder with each other, and things that you probably would hold your tongue for because out of respect for a person, or out of respect for the work relationship, and out of respect for your craft and your job, man. Like this is that's a poor showing on national TV in front of millions of people, right? They had less and less of a filter to disrespect each other, and that's very similar to what we've seen coming down to the end of the relationship on ESPN between First Take with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman, not so much on his end, but Stephen A. Smith got very disrespectful. The Max Kellerman, it was pretty ugly to watch, and the same thing was going down, man. This is what I said after the fallout with the Demar Hamlin situation and the Tom Brady situation, where I felt like Skip Bayless really disrespected Shannon Sharpe. This was my thoughts on that. And I Skip apologized and they gave a little fist bump and then they went into it. That was totally for TV, because if it wasn't for TV, they would have did their apologies off camera. They did it on camera, for the audience. But me personally, if I was Shannon Sharpe, there's no coming back from this, and I wouldn't even be surprised if this is like the beginning of the end of that couple being on Undisputed. That was my thoughts on it months ago, right? Months ago, I just seen it coming, but a lot of people seen it coming, man. A lot of people on YouTube, a lot of people on social media was like, man, there's no coming back from that. There's no way you can cross that line and then put that toothpaste back in the tube. Once you disrespect your coworker, your colleague, just disrespect everything that he did in his career and act like it was nothing. I mean, the talk to a man like the way Skip Bayless was talking to Shannon Sharpe. I mean, it got really bad, man. Here's a reminder of some of it though. Here's the conversation after the Demar Hamlin.
Good morning. Yes.
Morning.
There's been a lot of speculation of why I wasn't on air yesterday, and I won't get into speculation or conjecture, innuendo, but I will say this. In watching that game on Monday night, what happened to Demar Hamlin struck me a little different. As a brotherhood in the NFL, when injuries happen, when we know injuries are a part of the game, I've seen guys suffer ACLs and Achilles tear, but I've never seen anybody have to be revived and fight for their life on the field. So it struck me a little differently because I remember seeing my brother paralyzed on the field temporarily, and he was able to regain focus. Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right. Okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead. Let's go, Jen.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me.
Well,
you could have came back, Skip.
Well, I thought
Skip, just let.
I didn't know you were going to bring up.
No, I was just going to say, Skip. I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where Demar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No. Clearly, the bosses wanted you to offer explanations. So clearly, somebody.
No, they did not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
You can't work with a man like that. I mean, you can't work with a person like that, man. You can't. I don't know how he did it for 7 years. You just can't. But I think it was becoming more and more obvious to Shannon Sharpe this over this last year, because so many situations that where the conversation was touchy subjects, like he said, seeing Demar Hamlin land on that field reminded him of when he seen his brother with his neck broke land on the field. Like, so it wasn't a laughing matter for sure, but it wasn't a matter where you can prioritize football in that conversation. And that's what Skip did in that situation. In his tweet, he made it seem like football was of any importance at all. Like, you're talking about how we're going to continue this game because it has playoff implications and stuff like that, where all of that falls by the wayside. It doesn't even matter anymore. There's a man fighting for his life land on the field. That's all that matters. And that's what Shannon was trying to say. And that's what a lot of people was trying to say when it was explaining the Skip. Yeah, you didn't say anything wrong, but it was very insensitive to you for you to be thinking about and tweeting about. Even if you're thinking about it, okay, cool. But for you to take the time and tweet about it from the privacy of your home like it has any importance was very insensitive. And yeah, I know it was people like Troy Aikman and people that was calling the game, Joe Buck, that was speaking on it. They were still at work. They're working for a multi-billion-dollar corporation with whichever network was airing the game. And the show must go on from that standpoint, because we still gotta, like, we were supposed to be entertaining people for 2.5 hours, and the game stopped for almost an hour. Right. So all the people that was paying attention to that, and all of those advertisers that paid for those ad spaces, they're counting on that network or that station keeping people engaged long enough to watch their ads that they paid for. So they were still at work. They had a job to do. So I understand why they felt like they had to push and try to talk through the situation. Like, they was trying to talk. They was trying to find things to talk about. And they end up mentioning the game in the playoffs as well. But I understand that part. But for you to be at the privacy of your own home, tweeting about this, like, your mind shouldn't even went there. And that's what Shannon was saying. Your mind shouldn't went there. And Skip don't get it at all. And even Shannon mentioning the fact that, well, I hope Skip take the tweet down. He took it upon himself. Well, I'm going to show you I didn't say anything wrong. I'm not taking it down. Like, he doubled down on it. Right, just he's not humble at all. He's always right, and he don't mind disrespecting Shannon. That was just one time. Here's another time he disrespected him.
Playing at a high level at 45 when you had to stop at 35.
Yeah, that's what you do.
That's the point.
That's what you do. Every time I call something into question, I'm jealous.
No,
yeah, I did what I
never
did.
said you were jealous of Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I did what I did. You make it seem like I was a bum. I'm in the effing Hall of Fame.
Okay,
I got 3 Super Bowls.
So what?
So what?
He's way better than you were.
I'm better than you.
Better.
I got to see what you do. You take personal shots.
No, I don't take personal shots. You started it.
Time out. You would take a personal shot at me.
I didn't take a personal shot at you.
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about?
You would take a personal
Put your glasses back on.
Can I finish? You're willing to take a personal shot at me to say this man is better than me because I say he's playing bad this year?
Well, because you disrespect him. It's just so. You know what? It's beneath your dignity.
You would disrespect me to support him.
No, well, I'll support him over anybody because he's the greatest player who ever played your game, and it's by far.
Have at it.
Okay, I'm going to have at it because I'm going to have at you.
Shannon Sharpe was shocked, man. If you could have seen that video when he made the point, so you're going to disrespect me, and he was looking at him like, really, you going to disrespect me, your colleague, guy? I've been working with you for 7 years. We have at least a work relationship, and probably a borderline friendship. You're gonna and we've talked every day for 7 years, off air. Right, you know when you work with someone close like that for that long, you're having conversation that's not work related. So you know me, right? You know I'm a Hall of Famer. You know I'm one of the best tight ends ever. You know all these things about me. I've won at a high level, 3 Super Bowl rings, 2 different teams, right? You know all of this stuff, and you willing to just flush that all down the toilet for Tom Brady. And he was giving him a second chance to redeem himself. He was like, so you're going to disrespect me to take up for Tom Brady? And he pretty much said, yeah, I'm going to he didn't say I would go disrespect you, but he said I support him over anybody because he's the GOAT. He's the greatest ever to play J game. So he's pretty much saying, yeah, for Tom Brady, I crap on your whole career. And then Shannon was just like, hey, you know what, have at it. That's when he realized, probably for the fourth time, he realized, yo, this dude just not gonna respect me. And this is the definition of taking kindness for a weakness, because obviously Shannon Sharpe, the younger guy, the more in shape guy, the bigger guy, the stronger guy. It's amazing to me that someone would disrespect him to his face like that and be comfortable with it. But him being the gentle Johnny he is, and being as tamed as he is, and docile as he is, like, this is the type of brother I disrespect, because we got him so locked in on being quote unquote professional that whenever Skip wants to be unprofessional and step out of it, he can disrespect him at any time. But he's not going to do it because he's a professional, right? So he's realizing, and to be honest with you, I really think after all this stuff went down, I really think that his plan was probably to get through this contract and finish his contract and finish the thing out. And I think that the more and more him and Skip realized they couldn't reconcile or settle their differences, or maybe Shannon just felt like, man, like, I thought I was gonna get over it. I just can't, man. Or maybe something else happened. He said something else that he was like, look, man, come on, man, I just can't do it. And they probably had to expedite some type of resolution, and that resolution ended up being a buyout, where he get to leave Fox, leave FS1 and Undisputed with his podcast, and go find a home for his podcast and probably another job. Well, it depends on what the contract say with their buyout, because I know like Jamil Hill, when she got bought out by ESPN, she didn't work for a while, and I don't know if that was a reason behind it, or she was just good with the money she got. So those are my thoughts, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. You think this was a good idea for Shannon to go ahead and split up now? You think he should have finished out his contract, or and do you think Skip was very disrespectful to him, especially over this past year? Let me know what y'all think in the comments, and I catch y'all on the next episode.